episode 131 of jkgames podcast. We are going to be talking about God of War Ragnarok with our spoiler-free first impressions coming up soon, and we're also going to discuss the Game Award nominees that just got announced and what our picks are. Stay tuned.
Woo! Let's go. Welcome to JK Games, the game podcast where we bring you the gaming news we care about.
And maybe some that we don't.
And whether you play on easy mode,
or you like a good challenge. Yeah.
This is a show where we'll try to level up your gaming knowledge. Ooh, good horn thing. Is that a horn?
I don't know.
I think that's a horn.
I think so. It's a hype horn.
Yeah.
That sounded, I don't know.
Hype horn?
Off. Hype horn.
Hype horn.
Hype horn.
Everybody flute your hype horns in here, because that's what we're doing today. Anywho, let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I am Kayla. I'm one of your hosts at JK Games. I like long walks on the beach and throwing my axe at my son.
Yes, and I'm Jerica. I'm the other host here, and I also like to throw my blades of hellfire. I don't know if I forget what they're blades of rage at my son.
Something like that.
Because he's a little shit sometimes and likes to run away and cause trouble. And yeah, if you didn't know, this week we're going to talk a little bit about our God of War Ragnarok first impressions. Me and Kayla have been dads for a little while.
Yes.
I know all last week I was a dad. A God of War dad. And Kayla just...
I need to get you a mug that says World's Greatest Dad.
World's Greatest Dad. And that's... I really missed that opportunity. I should have gotten a mug while playing God of War this past week. So... Katronica says air horn. It's an air horn.
Yeah.
That's the flute your air horns, everybody. It's technically, I think
Jericho was about to say before I interrupt her.
What? Huh?
We're also having a little bit of connectivity issues, so bear with us.
Oh,
Jericho,
God.
we're cutting out a little bit again.
I don't know what to do about that. I've tried everything. Now it's me.
But,
it's usually Kayla cutting out. It's gonna be me
this
episode, so sorry.
It's okay. We'll figure it out. But Jericho was saying that I actually just got my hands on God of War today, and so I played a couple hours in preparation for this episode, and I have a lot of thoughts and things to say, and I'm really excited. And
don't worry,
we will main meat.
We will not spoil you on God of War Ragnarok if you have not had time to play, or if you haven't finished the game, because I also, even though I've been playing a little bit more than Kayla, I still haven't finished the game. So I don't know how it ends, and I don't want to know. So also, don't spoil us, please, if you're listening and or watching, because if you spoil me, I will be very mad. I'll get over it eventually, but I will be mad.
Yeah.
For a minute.
We'll ban you if you spoil it.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but I can figure it out.
But I did see online, wasn't there a lot of leaks before this came out?
I think a few things. I think there were a few things. I didn't get spoiled, so I don't know what they were. Good. Speaking of Twitter, it's dying, I think. But I did go on Twitter and block all the words. What do you call mute? I muted all the God of War words so I wouldn't get spoiled. I'm still not seeing God of War stuff on Twitter. I'm just seeing that Twitter's dying, which seems like a nice... it's a bad thing, but at least I'm not seeing any spoilers about video games. So, yeah.
R.I.P. to our Twitter, our followers. You're just gonna have to come here. Hi, oh hey J-Boo, welcome to the show. We're just now getting in. We just started. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But another thing we're gonna talk about, Jerica, is the Game Award nominees got announced.
Ooh.
We always like to do an episode. Jerica is gonna be there. I don't know if you guys heard us announce that.
Yeah, I'm going.
Are you excited?
It sounds like I got like some kind of like free trip expenses paid trip, but I did not. We are paying to go. Yeah, sure. I was invited to go and sit in center row W, which I think is sort of far from the stage, but I hope I can see things. But yeah, me and my girlfriend Audrey are going to go to the Game Awards. We had some miles racked up on one of those cards that you get miles on, and it's only like $80 for us to fly out there, so that's pretty exciting. So we've just never been. It's always been on our to-do list, and we're like, let's try to go this year, and it worked out. So
that's a bucket list thing, man. Yeah. That's gonna be so cool.
I'm excited.
I have an idea for. I haven't ran this by Jerica. I'm just talking about this live right now, but I feel like it would be so fun when you get back, like our episode, me to like reporter style interview you.
Yeah,
like
I'll tell you.
Experience.
I'll try. Yeah, I'll try. I would love to do that.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious, like what it'll be like. Which speaking of interview, I don't know if we'll keep it a secret, but we got a pretty cool interview.
We do
fairly soon.
Not this week, but the next. I mean, well, until I actually get it is happening. I just want to get the last confirmation a go before we say.
Yeah.
But we do have a little interview planned. Teaser. And hopefully in the next 2 weeks, it should be sooner than that, but hopefully we can get that put on our podcast platforms, things that you might be subscribed to. If you're not subscribed to us, how can you do that, Kayla?
Well, that's a great question, Jerica. So we'll just go ahead and load out. We'll get all of our things, put our packs on, load up our crossbows. If you don't already follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Twitter is questionable, as they're talking about in the chat. Yes, it is a cool interview. Oh, hey, J-Boo. We don't do a lot of interviews from people in the industry on our podcast.
Oh, no.
We're excited. It's going to be fun. It is someone in the industry, so. You broke up, Jericho. What was that?
I saw you break up, so I guess it is me.
Dang! What the heck?
I don't know what it is. But yeah, we got something cool lined up, so you should definitely I think that this is called. Is this clickbait? Are we clickbaiting now? Hey,
I think we are.
You should follow us if you want to know who this special interviewee is going to be. I don't know if that's the right term. Guest.
But yes, we will. It won't be a live episode just for the nature of like the interview style. So definitely follow us Twitter, Instagram, and now YouTube. We have a handle on YouTube thanks to Jerica. Is at jkgames podcast on all of those things. We have TikTok now. You can follow us there for funsies. So that is that. And then you can always email us, jkgamespodcast@gmail.com. If you have any episode suggestions, if you have any desire to be on our little podcast, go follow us there. And if you're listening after the fact, we do live episodes on Twitch now, and our Twitch is also just JK Games Podcast. You can follow us there. It'll notify you when we go live. That is all that I have for our loadout. Let's go ahead and keep on trucking along because we got a lot to talk about this week. So let's go ahead and jump right into our easy mode. Our easy mode is where we talk about what we've been playing this week. Obviously, we've been playing God of War Ragnarok, but we're going to save that for our expert mode. So just what else have you been playing, Jerica? Any other things that you've been doing?
No. I've literally just been playing God of War Ragnarok. I cannot stop playing. It is so good. It is everything I wanted from the sequel. Or I thought I wanted from the sequel. So far, so good. That's all I could talk about. So whenever you're ready to talk about that, I will talk about it. But other than that, I really haven't played anything else. I haven't touched Destiny in a week.
That's telling.
But Destiny does have the new season of Destiny will start the first week in December. So I'm excited about that because, Kayla, this is exciting with Destiny people. It will be the last season before the new expansion. Isn't that crazy? We've almost been a whole year since the Witch Queen came out. Sabathun and her worm. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but this will be the last season leading up to Lightfall, the next expansion for Destiny, and get to go to Neo Neptune or whatever it's called. I think it's called Neo Neptune. It's a really cool new like futuristic city that we get to explore out. I don't think we actually have been to Neptune yet in Destiny, so it's always exciting when they add a different planet that you get to visit. So, and it's all like cyberpunky. It's got lights. It's very like almost like, you know, that Miami, you know, blue pink sort of deal. Like, yep, and there's some like cool new abilities for our guardians. You get to use the strand. No connection to Death Stranding that I know of. But anyways, yeah. Last season of Destiny starts soon. I think it starts like December 9th or something. It's around that time.
Ooh. Not too far. Oh, hey, Jabu in the chat said, OMG, I'm glad this stupid pirate season is almost done.
Me too. I'm over it. I haven't even done, normally I get the seal for every season. I've been really good at doing that, but this season I could care less about all the piratey stuff. It just wasn't. Yeah. And it didn't hit right. It was a little bit of a filler season, so that was sort of rude. It wasn't. There's stuff to do in Destiny like always, but I don't know, the story
didn't hit the same.
It didn't, you know, which I can't expect them to nail it every season because they have been doing really good each season. So I'll give them a pass. I'll give them this one pass. They're probably working on Lightfall, which is fine.
All right. Well, I actually tried a new game a couple days ago. I started playing the new Warzone that just came out.
Oh, Warzone 2.0.
Yes. So I played the first Warzone that came out a couple of years ago. And this was when I did not have my PC yet. I was playing solely on console. And it took up so much space. And I don't know why that was like such an issue for me. I think because I'm the type of person that when I complete a game, I just go ahead and delete it off my console if it's like a story-based game. Whereas Warzone, if you are not sure what it is a battle royale game. And so it's like an ongoing thing, like kind of like a sub of just Call of Duty. You can get it totally free independently. Separate from the game. But what's cool about Warzone 2 is you can download it like just by itself. You don't have to download any of the other modes. And it only takes up, I think it's like 28 gigs as opposed to it was like almost 100 gigs.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
It was too much at the time. I was like, I have to delete this. I can't play anything else.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the only thing I can have on my console. But I'm playing it on PC now, and it is a lot of fun. I've played with some of our friends of the show. I've had a really good time. I love Call of Duty. I've always loved Call of Duty. So it feels like old school Call of Duty when you're playing it. I also plan on playing Modern Warfare 2 that came out recently. I've just kind of been waiting because I have other things that I'm playing, and I don't really want to pay for it full price when I know I can get it cheaper like next week after Black Friday.
Yeah, I was actually speaking to that just real quick. I don't know if it's still going on, but Target does like a deal every year where it's like buy two get one free, and I was able to incorporate. I got Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty, whatever it is. You just said what it is. Is it Modern Warfare again? 2. Whatever it is. Yes, one of those. At this point I can't keep up. I'm like, it's a remake, remaster, is it just a brand new game? We don't know. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna play the campaign.
It's Call of Duty, yeah.
So I got that. Audrey and I have been wanting to play Saints Row because it does look like a good time. It's probably not. It wasn't best. It didn't get a lot of great reviews, but it still looks like a fun time. So I got that, and I was able to pre-order Resident Evil 4. The pre-order counted, so I was able to buy two get one free. So
that's awesome. Yeah, they normally do that. I noticed that they did that a little early, but I think they'll do it again.
Oh, they'll definitely do it. They have to, because I was like, man, this is soon, but sure. So
I really didn't want to wait on Ragnarok, so when I got that,
yes, I didn't even start on Call of Duty because I knew I was going to be all up in that Ragnarok. Yeah, you know, ragging the rocks. Ragging the rocks all weekend.
But yeah, I've enjoyed Warzone 2. It is a lot different than the normal battle royale games that I play because it has a shit ton of people. There's like 100 and something people playing at once, and the map is huge. So what's cool about it though is I was playing with our friends of the show, Josh and Brian, and we were dropping in. You can drop in certain areas of the map to get a different type of experience. So you can do like a hot drop and be like in the thick of it, like killing people and like climbing up the ranks, or you can drop around the outskirts. And there's also like missions you can do like within the battle royale. So like there's like a one where you like domination, where you like disarm bombs, and the looter shooter aspect of it is very satisfying. It's very much like scrounging for everything you can get. It's a good time. I'm gonna keep playing it. I definitely want to stream it, so keep an eye out on our Twitch for that. But I didn't want to stream it the first night I played it because I was like, what if I'm terrible? And I know that's funny to say, but
I think it's great to watch terrible people play games. That's entertaining to me, so you should have.
Yeah, I know, but I definitely will because it's fun. But I've only played it a couple times. Gonna play it some more. That's about it. I have been playing Cult of the Lamb still. I realized that I didn't really. I don't know how to explain this, but I didn't open the doors like I was supposed to. So instead of doing it in the easiest order, I wasn't doing it in the easiest order.
Uh-oh.
And so I opened like the door that So I think that's why I was having such a hard time.
Yeah, I could definitely for sure. Yes, cuz they are sort of organized by like they get harder each room you go in. So if you start at the far left, you should be safe, or sort of inside left, I think.
So for some reason I did the like second door, and then I did one on the right side.
Okay.
And so because it'll let you, because you have to like have a certain amount of followers to unlock the door. And if you just have that amount of followers, it'll let you unlock it. Eventually the goal, is to complete all of them. So I skipped one, and it let me, but it was a lot harder, so I think that was why I was struggling. And the whole thing, like when something isn't working out, you kind of want to like rage quit. And so I did that for a minute, but I picked it back up, and I'm really still having a lot of fun just like marrying my cult followers.
Yeah, same. That's making them eat poop is the best thing. And trying to not let them die. They die fast.
Late from lunch in the chat said being terrible is the most fun. It is fun when you were playing with friends, like with you guys. That is fun. But I feel like I didn't do too bad though. Actually, I was surprised. It's been a long time since I played Call of Duty. Since Cold War is when I played it, which that was like 2 years ago, I think. But I didn't play Vanguard, which was before that. Violent Ice in the chat said DMZ mode in Warzone is fun. Also, I have not played that. Please enlighten me. What is that? We tried the extraction mode last night, and it was fun. I've also heard that's fun. That's kind of more like Valorant. There's a lot of different modes, which I definitely want to try them all out. But I just did like the basic one.
Yeah, I didn't realize there's so many different modes in Warzone.
Yeah, and it's free. So
let me get. I'm not gonna download it right now because I'm afraid the internet will kill me. But I want to download it. I want to play. I want to play with y'all.
It's fun. That's basically it for me. So we can go ahead and move into some news.
All right, we got a few things to cover.
I've been talking a lot, Jerica. Do you want to take?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. You can talk the whole episode. I'm fine with it if you really want to.
I'll talk about the Indie World Showcase later.
Okay.
Because there's a couple of cool things from there I want to talk about.
We'll save the God of War stuff for last then. But hey, I got my PlayStation VR pre-ordered. VR 2. Heck yeah. So they went live a few days ago. I sort of forget what day it was. Of course, here we go. They went live on November 15th. And of course, if you were interested, you could have signed up through PlayStation to get an invite. A couple of my friends that I played Destiny with we were all sold. We're day one Sony ponies, as they call us. And of course,
Sony ponies.
Yep, basically. So I'm giving once again Sony a part of my soul and 505 bones to put on this headset, hopefully more than once a year. The PlayStation, that's it. PlayStation VR 2. Obviously, my friends also, a few friends that I play Destiny with, also were getting it. But it was interesting because I got an invite, but they actually staggered out the invites because they were able to get in like an hour early before I was, which was interesting. I didn't know that they were doing that. So I don't know how many were pre-ordered. I haven't really done any research. But I was able to get in and buy one pretty easily. Like everyone I know that wanted one in my group got one. But yeah, they're expensive. It unfortunately, like from Let's just asked, is it wireless this time around? It is not. It is not wireless. But I'll go through some of the specs here in just a second. I wish it was. I probably would have gave them $200 extra for it to be wireless because I hated the cable situation on the PlayStation. Like any VR prior to like what we know is like, I guess, is it the Oculus that's wireless now? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Quest. The Quest. Thank you. The Quest. Which is good hardware. Like it's definitely not bad. But I do feel like the best VR headsets. Here it is. I'm gonna pretend I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't. I feel like the best VR headsets have to have some kind of cable. Like I don't know if that's ever gonna at some point maybe wireless, but for the capabilities of VR2, it's not in my opinion. In my opinion, long as PlayStation delivers with the games, it's a good value. Like I said, $550. That's expensive, and doesn't include a game or anything like that. So, just some of the features of the new PlayStation VR 2, which is set to also come out February 22nd. It's going to be a great February.
Still miles away.
But the PlayStation VR 2 will have eye tracking cameras to follow your line of sight. 4 integrated cameras will track your body position and the DualSense controller in real time. 2000 by 2040 resolution per eye, along with OLED HDR displays at 120Hz refresh rates. That will be the best headset I've ever tried on and used, I believe. The specs are one of the best ones. I don't know what that looks like or feels like yet. So that will be exciting to see. Now, instead of multiple cables, like the PlayStation VR originally had, there's like a few different cables coming into one thing. It was a lot going on. PlayStation VR 2 will connect to the PlayStation 5 through a single USB-C cable. So at least it's not as many bulky cables.
That's pretty good.
Or one. It was like one massive tied together cable, but it had like 3 little things. It was a little bit of a lot. Little bit of a lot.
Little bit of a lot.
Yeah, I just came up with that. A little bit of a lot. Okay.
Little bit of a lot.
But probably the thing I'm most excited to experience is actually the new controllers that will be accompanying it, because it's not just like the sticks that we have the PlayStation VR. It actually looks, I don't have a picture pulled up, but it's circular. It almost reminds me of it's a very common style of VR controller where there's like a circle thing. You got your hand in there, and it's like yeah. So it looks a little bit like that, and it also will have DualSense capabilities. So just like the DualSense controller, like you should be able to feel like if there's a bow, because I am excited to play that new Horizon game, Call of the Mountain. I think that's called, for the PlayStation VR 2. And I can't wait to use my bow, and maybe like, I don't know what you do with the buttons, but maybe there's some tension somewhere there, like with the button to release. I don't know. I haven't played it. So yeah, that's some of the specs, and yeah, it's an expensive thing, but I think for the
Sony Pony.
I think the headset itself is worth it, in my opinion. I think it's a good value for what kind of headset it is. Now, it won't be a good value if we don't have the games to support it, because I can justify playing more for a high-end VR headset if there's a plethora of things to play on it. So I hope PlayStation's gonna back this thing and actually have some decent games come out for it, because it will be a shame if all you get next year for it was like a couple of games, right? Like you spend $550 on this thing. Like I need more stuff coming to it that's not just this VR thing that's anyone can download on their Quest, you know? Like I want
and like
I want exclusive things that you can only play on the VR too. Like I need PlayStation first party studios to make some badass games for it.
Bangers.
So that's what I need. Anywho, but I will say like the original PlayStation VR is the most comfortable VR headset I've ever put on my head. It is very comfortable. Nice, They nailed the design, in my opinion. It's just that damn cable.
A couple things in the chat. A lot of opinions. Late from Lunch said, I want a wireless VR for sim racing so bad, but the only reasonable one is the Quest, and I don't want to get into that ecosystem.
Yeah.
And then we had Katronic said it's going to be a while before wireless will be able to perform to wired standards. Weight from battery, not an insignificant hurdle. It's true. We have Violent Oasis in the chat. Is as a Quest owner, there is some nice third-party accounts that make it nicer. So that's just some opinions. I don't own a VR headset, but I have used a PlayStation VR one, and it is really nice. I've also used the Quest as well, and I would say that the PlayStation VR one's more comfortable, definitely.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
At all personal level.
You know, I just hope I don't get this new thing and just play Beat Saber on it, because that's what happened last time.
I mean, Beat Saber is really fun.
It's a good game.
Though. You're gonna play the Horizon thing. I know.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh yeah. That's that. It's gotta be a day one thing for me. That's out the gate. Here's a brand new. They had a bundle with the game too, but I didn't get it. I don't know why. I was just like, eh.
Somebody did say, Violent Oasis said in the chat, my only complaint with PSVR is that you have to have a PS5 for it.
I agree.
It can't be PS4? Dang.
No, of course not. I know it's a bummer, but of course not. Like, you're gonna need the newest.
It's still hard to get that, though.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's gotten easier. If you really want a PlayStation 5, you can probably get one. I see them pop up more often now than any time, which is good. I don't know, with it being close to Christmas, so it might be getting a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I really do hope they put Half-Life Alyx. Even though, funny enough, Josh, I bought his Vive just to play that game, and I literally have the capabilities, but I won't finish it. I am such a loser. I need to finish it because I have the capability, but I just haven't. No. But would I try it again on the PlayStation VR 2? Hell yeah, I would. And then I get the trophies. I get trophies at that point.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't even think about that. You still get
Half-Life Alyx though is the standard when it comes to like what a VR adventure, like if you're looking for that definite, like this is a VR game, like Half-Life Alyx is it. It's so cool. That, and probably the other most impressive VR game I ever played was Astrobot. The Astrobot, I forgot there's more to the title. But the Astrobot game on PlayStation VR is really good. It's really fun, and the way that you interact with the world and play with little Astro is chef's kiss. So perfect. I'm bummed there's not a new Astrobot game with the release of the VR.
Oh man, that would have been nice.
I know it's coming, but I wanted that to be a launch title.
Josh also a friend of the show, has been trying to get me to play Half-Life Alyx because he said it's one of his favorite games, which is really cool.
I will share the headset if you ever want to play.
I do want to play.
Okay.
I have a room downstairs in my area. That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, moving on to our next topic, indie news. We did have a indie games showcase recently. It was on, don't have the date exactly, but it was in the last week or so, which is essentially hosted by Nintendo, and it is all about indie games and showcasing that. This month, there was a couple of things announced that look really cute. I don't want to go over every single thing. You can look it up if you would like. There's articles about what all was announced. But one that I specifically wanted to call out, and Jerica, I think that you would like this one. It's called Have a Nice Death. Have you seen anything about that?
Yeah, I actually have the stream pulled up on YouTube so we can showcase them.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah. Cool. It's showing the cooking game. The Vinba looks really cool. It's showing a bunch of different ones, but Vinba also is really cool looking. It's a narrative cooking game that centers around an immigrant family who moved to Canada in the 80s, which is cool. It's like featured in the 80s, developed by jkgames, and that is coming in spring 2023. I really like the art style of that. It's cooking, and like looks very hand drawn and colorful. But Have a Nice Death is like looks like a game that was made like specifically for me. Like I love like this type of thing. It's a side scroller, but it's also roguelike, which is cool. Apparently I like those. I did not realize I liked them as much as I do. And it's from Gearbox Publishing. And it's already come to PC, but now it's on its way to Switch. So you could play this on PC right now. I didn't realize that until just now, but I feel like it would be a really good Switch game.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming to Switch on March 22nd, and pre-orders have already started. So I think I'm gonna get that one on Switch. Another really cute one is Aka. So Aka is an adventure in a small open world game that's all about a retired warrior named Aka relaxing on a beautiful island boy. Several different biomes, and you can do whatever you like, whether it's like feeding dragons, going on quests, crafting items, building shelter. This seems very much like Sim-esque. This actually comes out this year. It comes out December 15th. And it's just really cute. It reminds me of Turning Red, the Pixar movie. Have you seen that? It looks like a little fox. I think it's a fox or a red panda. I can't fully tell. But yeah, lots of cute things from this showcase. Games that look really good. That's just a couple of highlights. I'm not going to go over all of them, but lots of cool things announced. If you guys in the chat have anything that you wanted to call out from it,
I can't wait to play this one. A little to the left is just like a organizing sim. You know, I really had a good time with what was it, unpacking, and just going through. Yeah, so I can't wait to play this game.
Yes. This got announced. There was another showcase that it got announced earlier this year, but it looks really fun. That's also on my list. Lots of bangers in this showcase. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Aravi said, Josh said, oh no, that was Katronica said, oh, it's a 2D cooking mama. Basically, yeah, honestly.
You did see Rogue Legacy 2. I found it. Yep. Never played the first one, but there you go. There it is.
That's all I have for my last piece of news. Jerica, did you want to talk about Pokemon before we go into our expert mode?
Yes, I can talk a little bit. I will try my best to talk about Pokemon, but spoiler alert, Jerica hasn't played it.
Oh yeah, I have not either.
It would have been the other game that I was gonna, sorry, let me mute that. It was gonna be the other game that I tried to at least pick up and play a little bit in between God of War, because it came out this past Friday. Scarlet and Violet, that's right. I forget the colors that's associated with it sometimes. I will tell you, the game does not look like what you're seeing here. There we go. It's not live action, don't worry, or CGI realism. I am excited to play because obviously the reviews are out for it, and I haven't been. I can say like the past few years I haven't played a Pokemon game and been like, ooh, wow, that was the best thing ever. I can't stop playing. I haven't felt like that about a Pokemon game in a really long time. Actually, probably since I was a kid. Which maybe, with a few little updates here and there, and I know it's just taken Game Freak way too long to like implement some big changes to Pokemon. But they had those at the Arceus, whatever, that open world game that came out. Was that this year? Did it come out this year?
That was in like February or March.
Yeah. That was one step forward with that, and I enjoyed playing it. Did I ever beat it? No. Because once again, I didn't fall in love with it, but I like the idea of open world Pokemon game that you get to actually explore. You can see the Pokemon that are actually creeping around. Creeping around instead of just randomly coming out of the grass. But I will say, like, it's been a while since I've been into a Pokemon game. I do want to pull up just a couple of reviews that are coming out for it because what I'm seeing looks cool, but then also seeing some issues that the game is having when it comes to just running effectively.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone in the chat has been playing, but right now, let's see. Right now on Metacritic, I just have Pokemon Scarlet pulled up. It is sitting at a 77, so not too bad. Most of the reviews are pretty positive, other than some of like the technical issues that the game's having. I don't know if it has anything to do with the game or just is it not running well because of the Switch? Like I have no idea. I'm sure it's probably a bit of like a mix of both. But I have been enjoying going on Twitter and seeing all the bugs that people are experiencing with the game.
Yeah.
It does seem that it's a little janky from what I have seen, but I'll tell you this, I haven't been playing it, so I don't know for a fact how constant some of these bugs are, or even like drops in frame rate, and I don't know how often those are. I'm trying to find like a good review that I could read through, but let's see.
I definitely am interested in trying it. I feel almost the exact same way as you, Jerica. Like I haven't been super like wowed by the games, and because Pokemon isn't like, I've always loved Pokemon, but it's not like my thing. But I'm interested in this one because it does seem different, and it seems like it'll be really fun once it's running properly. But I definitely kind of want to wait until it's all settled.
Well, I don't know if that will happen with this game. Oh, let me get off of here. It's hard to multitask. What I will say is like, oh, here it is. Sorry, I found the review that I feel like sort of embodied what I'm seeing from people on Twitter. Let's see. This review is from Shack News. I don't know who Shack News is, but Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has some excellent ideas that push the franchise in a new direction, but unfortunately they're bogged down by unacceptable performance problems at every single turn. While my biggest problems with the games could theoretically be addressed in future patches, I'm not sure how feasible that is given the capabilities of the Switch's hardware. That said, there's still a lot to enjoy, but it's hard imagining these games without wide appeal outside of the dedicated Pokemon fans that are still willing to put up with the issues and inconvenience. I think that was well put, because like obviously I haven't played it. I'm sorry, I haven't played it, but like I just need Pokemon to get Game Freak to figure out something, because I just don't know why they don't make it. I just don't know why a Pokemon game can't come out and just be phenomenal. Like, why can't it just be that
type of
every game is always the same? It's always the same. And I know there's gonna be a lot of Pokemon fans out there that just like hate on that and like, no, it's not true. I don't know. I'm ready for them to try something new. And unfortunately, it sounds like they're trying a lot of new things with this game, but it's just not working like they intended.
Josh in the chat said it's pretty rare for a second-party Nintendo game to release with this level of bugs/glitches. And that aside from other questionable things like how low res the textures are, even compared to other Switch stuff. Ooh. Yeah.
So not only, so it doesn't seem like, is it a hardware thing? Maybe not. Like, I always like to compare every Switch game to Breath of the Wild. Like, that game looks phenomenal in my opinion. And I'm, the last Pokemon, the Pokemon Arceus, I don't know how you pronounce it. I played it and it just looked like, it just didn't look great. I was like, why can't Pokemon look better than this? And then with the Scarlet and Violet, it sounds like they tried a lot and they were rushed. And I think, this one needed more dev time. From the sound, like from what everybody's saying, I think that was the case. It got rushed. Came out too soon. Came out of the oven way too soon.
Came out, the cheese was still too gooey. Wasn't ready.
Frozen, maybe. Like it was still frozen on the inside.
Chunks.
That pepperoni was hard.
Yeah. Alrighty. We have a couple. Yes, we have Scott.
No.
Weird things. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we do. Late from Lunch said it's pretty telling that the two most innovative Pokemon games in the last 10 years were Go and Arceus. Game Freak is coasting.
And we're the problem. I bought Scarlet. I have it, and I feel so bad. I'm like, see, I'm part of the problem. I bought the last game too. Didn't play much of it. Just play. Oh, I'll get into this. I'll get it. Everybody's loving the Pokemon. No, I just keep throwing money at them, so they can keep doing this to me every year. It's not fair. I feel like Nintendo should hold them to a higher standard. It's just unfortunate. It makes me mad that they take all this money from me since I was a child for all these Pokemon games. I
spend so much money at this company.
I feel like I did play X and Y and it was not that bad. Whatever that was the last like game I sort of got more into than the others. Okay, I'll get off my thank you. I need people to hold me to a higher standard too. If Game Freak's got to be held to it, I will be too. Bring it on.
Alrighty, well, we're gonna move into our expert mode, where we're gonna give our. Do we want to lead with Game Awards, or do we want to lead with God of War? Jerica, what do you think?
Let's lead with God of War, and we'll end with Game Award nominees. Yeah.
A little quick. Alrighty, so I'm gonna probably go first because I feel I have a lot less to work with. I know Jarek has played a good chunk. I've only played, I think I played 3 hours, I think, which it downloaded pretty quick. I was surprised. My internet's not that great.
Well, I think actually for once the whole game's on the disc for God of War Ragnarok. Yes. I think I remember reading that, so that's why.
Yeah, which was really cool. So I if you haven't heard me talk about God of War before, I played the 2018 one. I did not finish it. There was a lot like going on. I had a lot of things I was playing and like doing at that time. So I just set it down, not because I didn't enjoy it, because I had so much else going on and I didn't finish it. So I was worried because I really wanted to play this one. It looked so good. The graphics looks phenomenal. And I had a lot of my friends talking about it. So I was like, okay, I really want to get it. Hunter, my husband, wanted to play it. So we were going to have it in the house anyway. So I decided to go ahead and start it. And I watched the recap. So there actually is a recap for the last game when you load up your start screen. And I thought it was really good. It was pretty concise and to the point. Jerica, did you watch it?
I did. Because, you know, go ahead. Sorry.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has. And, like, I have not played the original since it came out. Like, I didn't really, I went through it. I don't think I got the platinum for it, but I went back and I did a lot in that game. Because you'll soon discover that there's tons of puzzles and tons of chests and treasure to find. And that's one of my favorite things about this game. But yeah, I definitely had to watch a recap just because I remember like the big things, but I want to make sure I was like not forgetting any other details. So
yeah, it's funny because he's just sitting there and he's like gets up. They play the video. But the video is pretty informative. It hit all the points. It reminded me of like where I'd caught up to, but I didn't know how it ended. So I got to see how it ended, and I didn't know any of that information. So that was, again, no spoilers. We may eventually go into like light spoilers for the first game, but so that was cool. They had that. I also noticed this game has a lot of accessibility features, which is really nice. I think it's nominated for that. But so I started out, played a couple hours. I just got done with one of the like first boss fight things. I guess it's a boss fight. But again, no spoilers, but a couple of notes that I made. Let me get them pulled up. The music and the audio is like out of this world. It is so good. Like I don't even have that great of a headset. My headset's kind of crappy, but it sounded so like crisp, and like the music and the score was just like really awesome. It is weird that like Atreus's voice is deeper. Like,
well, he's turned into a grown man. He's a grown little man now. Yeah. I don't know how old he is. It's definitely a few years have passed since the first game, but
yeah,
I think I remember reading they actually had some issues because the voice actor's voice obviously was changing in real life.
Yeah.
So they had to pivot, I think, during some of it. I don't remember, but I just remember reading a little bit that caused a little bit of a problem, but it worked out great. Like, it's perfect. I'm so glad they were both to have. Obviously, you know, what's his name, Christopher Judd could never be replaced as Kratos. Like now, in my opinion,
yeah, that voice
it's intense. I think he just like I just like hearing him grunt. So
yeah, for real. So it looks amazing. Like there are some like weird points. Like is it Faye? Is that the mom? Faye, I think is her.
Yeah, name. I wouldn't be careful with what you talk about.
Yeah, yeah. Her hair doesn't look great. That's just like a cutscene, so no spoilers. But like, there's some hair problems that I have. I'm always weird about hair in video games. Like, her hair was like, yeah, there's some hair things, but everything else looks great. Do you remember The Witcher? How you like had all those hair screenshots from the
yes,
Witcher 3 game?
All the NPCs from The Witcher 3 they're all amazing. Everyone had a bowl cut, so
basically.
I haven't seen one bowl cut in this game, by the way. So I think we're
no
good.
bowl cuts.
Nope.
Really enjoy the combat. I didn't remember like a lot about the combat in the first game, but like I actually really like it. I like how there's like the combo with like you and Atreus. Like I think that's really cool. The adaptive triggers I really like so far, and they're difficult sometimes to press down. Like I'm like sitting over here, my wrist is sore.
Yeah.
Like I'm having a hard time, but I like it because it's very realistic. That is pretty much all I have from my short experience so far. I'm really enjoying it. I could see how you could get lost in this and spend a lot of time. Yeah, that's really all I got.
Yeah.
That's it. Jericho, I would like to hear your thoughts.
All right, I'm approximately about 20 hours in, maybe right around 20 hours into it. And I talked to a friend that has finished it. But here's the thing. Here's how I play God of War. It's going to take me a long time to beat this game because I like to get as much 100%ed in each area as I can. You'll notice as you play through God of War, Ragnarok, that you might not be able to do that in some areas because you'll find out like, oh, do I have the ability to blast that rock down yet? I don't know. I don't think so. It sort of reminds me, and Kayla, you can relate to this because you've played it, Star Wars Fallen Order, where, you might want to revisit places you've been before because now you have this ability. And it gives you the option to go back and like discover maybe some things you missed because you couldn't do a certain thing. There are a few of those obstacles in this game, so now I'm just trying to, as soon as I unlock something else, I go back to a zone that I visited or a realm I was at before to see what treasure awaits me because I want to collect it all. I want all the hack silver and all the artifacts. And one of my favorite things you'll find throughout playing this game are little like poems. And each poem is describing another PlayStation game. And it's so cool. They're fun to read.
I haven't gotten to that yet. That is so cool.
I can't wait to find the Last of Us one because there is a Last of Us poem in here. It wouldn't be a JkGames podcast without me mentioning the Last of Us. I did find the Death Stranding one.
Of course.
So, but there's a lot of little things like that. Huh?
Could you miss them if you're not like? Is it just like an extra thing?
No, you can definitely miss them. They'll show up as little purple treasures. Like everything sort of glows a certain color based on what it is. Like if you need health, it'll glow green. Rage or whatever that rage meter is called actually in God of War, you see like little red things you can stomp on. And you'll see like purple things for artifacts and little collectibles. But some of those things are hidden very well. And this game definitely rewards you for looking in every nook and cranny. Because if you're like, there's some space over there, maybe I should go check it out. You should go check it out because there's probably a chest. And things are hidden. Like they do really well with, and the first game did really well with this too. But they do a good job of like planning out the level design to where they... Obviously, your super smart game level designers are super smart. They know where players are going to go, what's going to draw their eyes to certain places. And, like, it rewards you when you turn around. It's like almost like if you go against the grain of what the game's trying to make you go to. If you go against it, you're going to find something that's going to be interesting.
That is so cool.
Or just treasure. So... it's fun to explore. You might occasionally be walking down this hallway and see like a hole in the wall, but you see like some treasure beyond it, and you're like, how do I get over there? Do I need to figure it out now or later? Huh?
Yeah. I said I've noticed some of that already, even just like in a little bit, like there will be like a little cavern on the side, and I'm like, am I supposed to go that way or is that just extra?
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool.
There are a few areas that open up pretty big. Like it's not a quote unquote open world game. But it does have some open areas that you get to explore and sort of take your time in. And it's a good mix. Like, I love this game so much. It's just fun to play. It makes, there's not a lot of, like, I'm a collector. I love collectathon situations in games are, like, my favorite thing. But you can just play through it and have a great time. You don't have to do all those things and probably get through the main story in around 25 hours, I assume, Like if I wasn't doing all the other stuff, I'm sure I would be done by now. But yeah, I'm having a good time.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm excited to hear your thoughts because we are different. Like you do like that, and I'm pretty much in it for the story. I'm playing on the one right above the story mode. What are you playing on?
Everyone keeps asking me that. I don't know. Like I started on the like a harder difficulty, and I was having some success. And I'll sort of touch on gameplay real quick, but I had to tone it down because the game it gets really challenging, and just like if you get to certain areas that you can't really figure out, like, do I have this ability or can I actually move that rock now? You're gonna find that you encounter some enemies that are definitely you need to be more leveled up before you take this enemy down, because you will get destroyed very quickly. But yeah, I'm playing on balance now because I just can't get my butt kicked anymore. And in the previous game, you would fight Valkyries at different points. Like you come across, they're like the toughest enemies in the game. I have found the equivalent to the Valkyries in Ragnarok, and I was able to get the first 2 down, but this one that I'm on now is just like kicking my butt. And I will need to just level up some more stuff before I go back. And it's pretty broad when it opens up to figure out, like, obviously you have your weapons from the first game automatically. That wouldn't make sense for the story to unlock those again. But you do have your blades and your axe automatically at the beginning of this game. And you get to level those up and add different abilities. And I forget, there's like little modifiers that you can apply to your axe or your blades to give it more defense or give you more damage. Yeah. So there's different perks you can put in different places. There's a skill tree, and you can sort of load that up the way. Are you more of a melee, ranged type of player? So, or is it a combo? Like you can sort of play around with that. And I've actually gotten enough experience. I'm able to put everything in all the spots. So, but you can modify how your supers. I always compare the supers with Destiny. Like you have an ability after you that you can use after so much time has passed. Like 2 or 3 extra abilities depending on if you're using the axe or the blades, and you can change out what that ability is. So the UI is a little complicated. At first that was super overwhelming. I don't remember what it was like in the first game, but I remember trying to like go through my armor, then look at what my mods can do to my armor, and then my skill tree, and this relic. What do I do with this relic? I need 3 relics to get the ability. It was a lot. It sort of walks you through that, but I was definitely overwhelmed at first.
I think the UI could be better for sure. It's
not that it doesn't look bad. I think there's just a lot of info that's like thrown in your face when you're trying to like. You'll see it if you're playing. It's just like ugh.
I do like how you can level up Kratos and also like Atreus as well. Like you can upgrade both of their things, which is neat. And I like how after any kind of fight, you see like both of their XP goes up. And so I don't know. That's fun to me. I like seeing like the progress and everything. But definitely excited to keep playing.
It's so good.
I'm curious to see where this falls.
I wish I had like a fresher take on the first game so I could compare them more.
Yeah.
I do feel like I don't know. I feel like I didn't really play God of War. I played a few games. Like I'm sure I played the original at some point on PlayStation and PlayStation 2. But I never really cared for Kratos, really. God of War 2018 made us care about Kratos again. And it was a different type of game compared to the past God of War games. Definitely a different direction they've taken it and play style. But I will say, like, I had fun with the 2018 one, but I wasn't, like, a big Kratos fan. Now that I played that game, I've become a big Kratos fan. So Ragnarok, so far, I feel like because I didn't have a connection with that character before I played that game, 2018, God of War 2018. Now I have a connection, so maybe that's why I feel like I'm having more fun with this one than I did the
that's a good
original
point.
game. I don't know. Like I'm I was ready to get back to the story. I was ready to get back to Kratos and his like magical blades and axes. So I feel like I am having more fun with Ragnarok than I did the original 2018 game. But that's just me. But it could be just I haven't played the original one in a minute, so
it's a very gamey game for sure. Feels very, very much gamey game, and I love that. Yeah, I'm having a really good time too. I would love to, like, hopefully in the next couple months, if I can find it within me to stick to it, to do like a spoiler cast. But I'm so far, like, I mean, I've literally only played it for one day, but I didn't want to put it down. I was like, I need to make dinner, and I was like, just keep playing until the podcast. But yeah, that's really all the thoughts that I have. Definitely let us know in the chat if you played it and what your thoughts are. It rated really well, didn't it? Do you know the rating that it was given?
94 is the current Metascore.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think it will beat the other. I don't know. Let's get into the main topic because I'm ready to talk about it.
Ooh. Okay. Well, the age-old question, Jerica. Game of the year.
It's my game of the year.
What is it?
It is. God of War is definitely my game of the year. Yep. And it is one of...
Mic drop!
It is one of the few that have been nominated this year, and I'll pull it up real quick, because for our expert mode, this I guess we're still talking about God of War, but we'll combine it with the Game Award nominations that are out, which you can right now go to gameawards.com and vote for your favorite games in different categories. But we'll start with like the game of the year, the big one. I don't know if you had a certain structure to this, Kayla. I was just going to read through the list.
That's fine.
A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, of course, God of War Ragnarok, of course, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 are the nominees for Game of the Year this year.
I was so happy that Stray was in there.
Yeah, me too. It was good to see. It was good to see. It won't win, but it was good to see that it was there. No. It definitely was a highlight of the year.
I mean, it's hard to... Yeah, it's hard to put it up next to something like God of War or Horizon.
It just doesn't have the same substance. And I obviously it's going to be between Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok, and Elden Ring's probably going to win. I haven't played it enough to enjoy it. It is still on my list to play more Elden Ring. I really want to get to it. I played that one night and I streamed, and every time I died, I opened up Pokemon cards, and I opened up so many Pokemon cards.
That video's on our YouTube if you want to watch it. It's really funny.
But Audrey had a good point, because we were looking at the nominees, Audrey, my girlfriend, and I was like, Elden Ring's gonna definitely win. There's too much hype around it. It just appeals to a lot of different people. And she's like, I don't know about that. And I'm like, no offense to old Elden Ring, but she's like, I think God of War appeals to way more people than Elden Ring. I'm like, yeah, you sort of got a point. I can see that. She's like, everyone can play God of War and have a good time. And she's like, I don't think everyone can play Elden Ring and have a good time. I was like, I see that point. I see it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like like a personal opinion, like I can't, because I have not played enough of Elden Ring. I've only seen some people play. So I can't say will it be Game of the Year based on the hype and what I heard about. I feel like it has, checked a lot of boxes for what a Game of the Year should be. It does seem, but
for sure. But I agree. I don't know. Elden Ring, again, I can't really fully speak because I've played some. I played on my brother-in-law's computer. He was obsessed with it and played like a ton of it. It doesn't seem like something that it just doesn't seem like my type of game, so I feel like I can't adequately judge it because it's not like my thing specifically. But I did do a poll on our Twitter because I was curious, at least with like our followers and our listeners, kind of like what base we were pulling from here. So I put out a poll.
Nice.
What is your game of the year to our Twitter followers? And you can only pick 4 options, so I wasn't able to put all of them on here, but I put the ones that I feel like would be contenders, the main contenders. So Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, and Stray I had to add in there just because I know that like a lot of our followers like them. So topping at number 1 for our poll was Elden Ring, actually, at 47%. So not far away. But we had God of War Ragnarok at 37%. We had Stray beat out Horizon Forbidden West in our poll. Stray was 11%, and then Horizon Forbidden West was only 5%. So just thought that was
I would
fun.
agree. You know, Horizon was fun, but I did not have as much fun playing Horizon as I am having with God of War Ragnarok. No, there's definitely, I don't know what it is. Because God, Horizon was a beautiful game and it was fun killing robot dinosaurs, but there's just something missing. I don't know what it is. That's why I don't work for them. I don't know it. There's just something missing.
I played some of Horizon Forbidden West. I did not finish it. I do plan on going back to it. But I agree. I think that there was some points where I wanted to be done with like that section. I was like, okay, like we're doing the same like combat over and over again.
I
like,
got bored in Horizon way too soon.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It's beautiful. It's fun. Like I did have a lot of fun. Again, I have not finished it. I don't remember how many hours I did put into that one. But yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about Ragnarok, but I could see how you would feel that way about Forbidden West. But I think it's worthy of being a contender for sure. Obviously, it's a huge game. But I think it's cool that Stray's in there. It's an indie game and it's a short little unique game. So I'm curious to see. It's up for some other nominations though. So you say your game of the year is Ragnarok, huh?
It is.
That's awesome.
Unless I feel like it won't be able to make it, but because it would definitely qualify for next year. But I'm very interested to see how reviews go for Callisto Protocol that comes out December 2nd. Ooh. Spooky game in December. It's my last game of the year that I'm really like paying attention to. So
yeah, I think I'm gonna like it too because it's creepy. Alrighty, moving on to the next nomination.
Yeah, we'll go through. We won't go through all of them because there's a lot.
Oh no.
But
just the big one.
And some of these get a little like confusing or like, oh, why did they have that too? But I'll sort of give a little definition. So the next one is gonna be best game direction, and this game will be awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. So Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, and Stray.
Immortality is another indie game, right? I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Half Mermaid. Our friend of the show, Cody, really loves Immortality, and from what I've heard, it's very unique. I have not played it, but
you're going through like footage. It's cool. I played a little bit of it. It's definitely something I need to get back to, and I was having a good time. I was like, this is cool and a little bit creepy, and I like it. So it's cool to see that.
About these...
It's cool to see that nominated here. Sorry. There's like a delay between me and Kayla, so we don't really, sometimes we talk over each other.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm trying to pause it right, but yeah, I think there's a little bit of like a lag. But I was basically gonna say the exact same thing you're saying. I'm glad it's in there, and I'm glad that Stray is in there. I feel like looking at these options, I think that like if you're thinking direction, I don't know. What is your thoughts, Jerica? What would you pick? It's hard.
It's probably gonna be Elden Ring because I know I haven't played enough, but from what I can tell, like out of all these games, it's gonna be a tough one because like I think Immortality could definitely be a big contender. Like I feel like definitely Elden Ring and Immortality is gonna have to be between those two. Maybe Stray.
Yeah.
Maybe Stray up there, but I think it's gonna be. When I think of this category, I think this is something new way of doing something. This is the direction they took, and it really paid off. So, Immortality, Elden Ring. The other two, Horizon and Ragnarok, I think they knew their directions and they just did a lot of the, not saying copy paste is always a bad thing. It's actually sometimes just fine. Like, I think Ragnarok's just fine. Is it innovating on a whole other level this time? Not that I can see nothing extraordinary, but it is more of the fun stuff. So I don't know. That one's tough. I think it would be between those two though. Elden Ring, Immortality.
I moved along a couple, if that's okay, and I do have like best score and music.
Yeah,
I went to that one because that one's always fun. Also, have you played A Plague Tale?
No, I haven't. It's also recently came out, so I haven't gotten to it yet. Oh well, the new one, that is the second one, by the way. There is a Plague Tale, Plague Tale Innocence is the first one.
Okay,
I've been wanting to play that. I like to really play. I don't like to play a second game without playing the first game. Makes me feel bad.
That makes sense, but I think I would like it. So basically, for outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. So they have Plague Tale, Elden Ring, God of War, Ragnarok, Metal Hellsinger, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So those are your options. I think that God of War Ragnarok's music is amazing, and the score. Would that be your pick in this group, Jericho?
So out of what I've experienced, that one's obviously I've gotten more chills with that than anything else.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, is there any other ones specifically you want to call out? Maybe best performance, like the actors.
That one's another tough one because I haven't played Plague Tale, and I feel like I don't want to give an answer because all the people listed here are very talented and deserve all the awards. And I don't want to just say I won't vote for Charlotte McBurney, because she was the voice of, I want to know what she sounds like. Ashley Birch kills it as Aloy every time. I wish the writing was a little bit better for the character, but she kills it every freaking time. And obviously, Christopher Judge, God of War, Kratos himself.
Oh, no.
And even Atreus is a good performance. I can't pick on that one. I can't. I don't want. I don't want to vote.
Put them up against each other.
I don't like to do it. I don't know yet. I don't know. That one's tough.
I was excited because best indie, Cult of the Lamb, made it on the list.
And as it should be. Definitely one of the best indie games I've played all year. Might be the only one I've played all year. There's definitely something else I've played, but I'm glad Cult of the Lamb is here because it's a good game.
This one's hard though because there are some really good ones. So best indie, you've got Cult of the Lamb, Neon White. I haven't played that. Saifu is on here.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people liked that. Stray is on here, and then Tunic is on here.
Tunic's a good one. I wish I would have. It's one of those that I picked up and I'm like, this is really cool, but I'm distracted by Destiny once again.
Same. Not Destiny, but Fortnite and Overwatch. But I voted for Cult of the Lamb just because, like, I kind of voted for it because it was its only appearance was that one. And
yeah,
so
I did too. I did too.
I know.
I am excited for best ongoing game. Once again, I think Destiny 2 needs to win something this year. I mean, I love all these games, but there's Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 16. Did I say that? Final Fantasy 14, my bad. Fortnite and Genshin. How do you say that? Genshin Impact.
Genshin.
I always butcher it. Regardless, Destiny 2. Give it to them this year. Witch Queen rollout was phenomenal. Every season except this season's been incredible. I'd like Destiny to win one. There's also one for like best was it community engagement or community support, and I think that Bungie deserves that this year. They've deserved it last year, but I think they definitely deserve it this year. Like every week there's a TWAB, so this week at Bungie, and they update us all regularly. And they've done so much more like community engagement, like getting fans involved. I mean, we vote for the Halloween costumes every year now. Like, it's just super involved. And every day there's some kind of communication, like between someone at Bungie and the players. So, not trying to, be biased here, but I think Destiny 2 needs some love in one of these categories this year. So
for sure, I support that. There's a lot going on.
It's been the first year they've had me engaged most of the year where I haven't played any other games. Usually I'm getting some platinum trophies here and there, but I'm not because I'm always playing Destiny.
Are you going to try to platinum Ragnarok?
Oh, yeah. Definitely going to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm looking through to see if any of these other categories speak to me. A lot of them are repeats, which is awesome because, like, it does give you a chance to, like, give some more specifics. Like, you've got like best action adventure, you got best role playing, and some of these fit into multiple categories. There's a lot. You should definitely go check it out and participate if you would like.
There's a new category that I'm really excited about.
What is it?
I'm getting to it. I'm heading to hit next. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Best adaptation. Okay. And of course, you know what I voted for. Because it needs to win all the awards. But I still haven't watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I really want to watch that. But this is going to be adaptation. So video games that have been, put on the big screen in some shape or form. Arcade. Yeah. Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, The Cuphead Show, Sonic Hedgehog 2, the movie, and Uncharted. So that's cool to see. And you know it's going to be on it next year. Duh. Last of Us show.
Yes. Hell yeah.
I want to vote for that, and it hasn't even come out yet. Can I just vote for the Last of Us HBO show? But I wouldn't want to take away from Arcane.
Write it in.
Arcane is what I voted for.
Write it in.
Yeah, I'll just write it in.
Let's see. I think that's pretty much it as far as
most anticipated game. So that one's always cool. It's like what everyone's most excited for. Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and of course, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Nice.
Legend of Zelda is gonna win. I feel like out of all of these, that's what everyone has been thirsting for. Now that Elden Ring's out of the way, it's definitely Tears of the Kingdom here.
What is that slated for again?
I think it comes out in May of next year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Josh in the chat said, "What if the ending sucks?" I think he's talking about Ragnarok.
I guess I could take back my vote. It's not too late. I don't think.
That's true.
We'll find out. I might not want to go get the platinum afterwards.
Stay tuned.
I am nervous about the ending because it's all leading towards something, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. But okay.
Endings are tricky, you know.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, do you have any closing thoughts? That's pretty much. We went over a good bit of the categories. There's a lot of categories, so.
Game Awards are exciting. I like to see who wins, but we're at the Game Awards to hear. Obviously, I like to see some people win and cool games win, but I'm also there for the world premieres. And
you're gonna be there.
The new stuff that gets announced is exciting. Yeah. I don't know. Not much else has been announced for being there, so I don't know the musical guest or anything like that. So I'm eager to see who. You could sort of get an idea for what things might get addressed based on the announcers they'll pull into and like people that are presenting awards. I would expect them to have like some, Last of Us HBO show situations happening at the show. Yeah, so I hope they show up. I want them to show up. I want to see them.
I was gonna say, what if?
If anything, it would definitely
on stage.
Unfortunately, it might be like a next year situation, but you never know. All right, but yeah, God of War Ragnarok is great. Please play it. You're in for a treat. Anything that you expect, you probably will be surprised because it's the things I've been expecting aren't really happening in the game. I'll say that.
Well, stay tuned. Jerica's gonna report back after her Game Awards experience. We got cool things coming up. We got an interview. It's gonna be really fun. We've got Jerica going as an envoy to the Game Awards. We're gonna interview her when she gets back. And thank you all for joining.
Yeah.
We appreciate
I cannot wait. I'm going to play some more God of War right now.
Hey, alrighty. Well, we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.
Bye.